Hello, this is Truth Seeker 1971. I was asked by Dwayne Holloway of the TFL movement to share my TFL story. I thank Dwayne and Bill for allowing me to do this. Ladies, do you want a man who is well educated, has a decent career as an educator, good with children, 5 feet 10.5 inches in height, decent looking, clean, kind, friendly, loving, caring, understanding, honest, faithful, God fearing and passionate, a guy who can make you laugh easily, a guy you can have stimulating conversations with, who can sing, write poetry, speak romantic languages? Sounds good, huh? So I would like to know for why, for most of my adult life, I'm almost 40 now, I've had excruciating difficulty in finding that one special lady. Why have romantic relationships been few and far between? I've done almost everything possible. Usually when I meet a single lady anywhere and we hit it off and I think she's great and we have connected, she does a 360-degree turn on me and pushes me away. This has happened over and over again for many years. I've tried some PUA techniques, joined a couple of matchmaking services, but nothing worked. I don't endorse that PUA thing because I find it very deceitful. I also have a missing forearm from birth, and sometimes I wonder if that may be a deterrent. Some people have told me that, but I usually don't want to believe it because I wouldn't like to think that in the 21st century people are still so shallow. People usually make judgments about me based on my disability which aren't true. I have noticed that where I come from, women tend to go for those phony, gangster, rude boy wannabes, and some go for those borderline gay metro types. Most of those men don't have my attributes, but women seem to like them. I could understand that some women would go for guys like that, but the vast majority that I come across, a lot of women seem to want a rich guy with a fancy car. If you don't have a car, I won't date you attitude. I can drive, but I don't have a car because I don't need one at the moment. I live close to everything. Apparently, a man's positive attributes aren't enough. Only a car is important. I really don't get it. Another thing, most women I encounter always have a man. Are there any single women left? Every year, one thing has been constant loneliness. You talk to women, they're upset. You don't talk to them, they're upset. You're kind to them, they're upset. You're upset with them, they're upset. What do they want? Whatever I do is never enough. Whatever other guys do is always enough. I always seem to miss the mark. Whether or not I look for love, it's the same thing. It's a pile of mind games year in, year out. I don't get a chance. I'm fed up. I feel dehumanized and demoralized. I sometimes feel as if I'm being punished for being alive. I thought by doing good that good things will come to me. I thought that in this life we should try to be genuine, love, care, and share. Not to hurt people for no reason at all. I didn't hurt anyone. I did not hurt anyone. People, TFL is true. Believe it. Thank you all for listening to my story. I wish you all the best.
It began early in my life. When I was a child, the other kids either picked on me or they took pity on me. When I reached puberty, I was all alone. I was clearly interested in girls, but they weren't interested in me. They treated me like a circus freak. In the 10th grade, I had at last succeeded in making friends, but I still could not manage to get a girl to take interest in me, no matter what I did. I'd have to watch all my friends enjoying the life I was denied, and I could sense the stigma and rejection among family and friends in all walks of my life. I tried to explain how I was feeling to family and friends, but they did not want to hear me. The loneliness and isolation would destroy me emotionally from the inside out. I felt like I had died inside, yet I was clearly still very much alive, suffering through a living death sentence. For years I did not understand what was going on, and I would blame myself. I thought there must be something horribly wrong with me. I felt like the only purpose I had for living was waiting to die. I frequently went through suicidal feelings as my life slowly passed me by. At the age of 24, I had my first girlfriend, but she brought much baggage into my life. I worked and paid every red cent I made to support both her and I. She wouldn't help and wouldn't work, and the relationship was falling apart because I had to do everything. I was left with no choice but to leave her and to return to that dark chapter in my life of total isolation. I have never succeeded in overcoming the odds a second time, and I probably never will. But I have found the TFL movement, a place where people like myself can come for support, to speak out. And I found the answers I was looking for. There never was anything wrong with me. It was society who was wrong.
Hello, my name is Calvin D'Souza, also known as Big Boss Calvin 83. I'm going to tell you my story about living TFL. Uh, all my life, I have been living TFL since since I woke up to what's going on since 10, and it's the truth. TFL does start when you're young. There's no minimum age. I've always been an outcast. I have moved around a lot, and TFL follows you wherever you go. I grew up in. I'm from New York, Queens, New York originally. I moved out to Long Island when I was like 3 years old. Around 7 to 8, I moved out to Europe, the UK. I lived out in London for like 2 years, 2 to 3 years. I traveled through France and Spain. When I was around 9 or 10 years old, 9 to 10 years old. I came back to the States. I came back to New York. Spent some time out there. I moved down south to North Carolina for like a year. And I still had the same issue of living TFL. I had only small little friends. Women would just stereotype me out like they do always. I mean, I was stereotyped today when I was out shopping. And this was an ugly woman, a fat, obese Caucasian woman. Even though I have no interest in Caucasian women, I'm still being stereotyped out. You get the point. So, I grew up, in my teen years, I lived out in New Jersey. And I was treated like shit from middle school and high school. I was put down, stereotyped out. I endured a lot of racism, and I endured a lot of sexual discrimination. But when you're like a black man, a man of color, you get both. You have a lot of strikes, especially when you're not considered the desirable man. When you're an undesirable, and you're a man of color. TFL, you will feel TFL, and especially if you like have a weight problem. I mean, I've been slim, and I have been skinny, and I have been overweight. I have been up and down, and I'm still alone. I'm a very intelligent person. I can talk to people. I'm easy to get along with. I have loyalty, but I never got that respect. Everything is a game to people. Everything's a mind game. People love the eugenics. They love treating people the way they don't want to be treated. And I feel for people that do feel like killing themselves, because I've been in that situation, and I feel like killing a bunch of people like Virginia Tech and Columbine is because you motherfuckers create your own killers. You do. So TFL is fucking real, and I'm suffering right now. Anyway, that's my story.
Hello YouTube, this is Prince Oren 1988 here. And one of my good friends, Bill Greathouse, has requested that he would put together a video series. So I'm gonna try. I know I have a lot to say about what kind of experience I have as far as TFL goes, and he's requested that I put this for 3 minutes, but I'm gonna try my best to keep it 3 minutes or below. So anyways, let's get started. I have experienced fake friends in school and at work. You know, the dating scene is all messed up. I mean, look at the people who pretend to be your friend. They want to use you for their own personal gain and stuff. You know, a long time ago, I had who used to be one of my friends, these so-called friends. One of them took advantage of me and took away my Game Boy. This was like when I was a child, when I was in middle school. He used me for his own personal gain, and he stole a lot of things from me, including my money when I was a child. And I used to have a crush on this one girl. You know, I really had some deep feelings for her when I was like 15 years old, and the girl was 14. And I've tried to ask her out. You know, I've tried to be the bad boy, but it's like a lot of these women, they don't know what the hell they want. They say, oh, they want a bad boy. Oh, they say they want this, but whenever you try to do it, oh, they want something else. I mean, what the fuck do you want, bitch? Okay? You say you want me to be a bad boy, but oh, you're not happy with that, aren't you, bitch? Okay? Like, I know this one girl who's an emo. I guess either gothic, punk, or emo. So don't call me on it, but basically, I've tried to be this bad boy, or biker. She wasn't impressed. And also another thing. And I was judged 1 to 5 seconds. And when I was at work, I used to have a crush on a girl, and I was 20 years old, and this was like almost last year, and she also judged me also based on looks. Not by looks, but character. I was judged because of my characteristics. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was I don't had no idea what she wanted, and I was forced into loneliness. I didn't choose to be alone. Loneliness is forced upon me. You forced us into loneliness. You tell us to go out and make friends. We don't choose to be lonely. You put us in that position. You tell us to go out and make friends. You forced us to be alone. We did not choose to be alone. We tried to be your friends in school and seek companionship, but you denied us that. You dogged us out. And you have the audacity to tell us that we have no social skills and that we don't know how to communicate with people. Fuck you. Okay? Fuck you. That's all I gotta say. It gets deeper than this.
Hey YouTube, my name is Dimitri and I want to talk about TFL. And you probably noticed my accent, that's because I live in Ukraine and I'm just one good example that TFL is going all around the world, it's not just America alone. Like many others, I never had anyone in my life just because somebody decided that love is a fucking game. And so they built a society full of high expectations. They switched love with sex. Now they don't even use the word love, they use serious relationships, like sexual relationships. It makes a difference. And it's sickening. And when you go out and you try to find somebody that will have something in common with you, that won't betray you, that will be honest with you, and you get desperate and you get hopeless because you find no one. Everybody is playing mind games, that's all it is. And somebody go to PUA like the last refuge, but PUA is another bullshit. They just selling you snake oil. They're making profit out of your suffering just without no conscience. You need to realize that acting like a douchebag will never get you into real love. Real love is achieved with being honest, with being yourself, not being like a poser, not acting like a douchebag. And I also know that being alone for a long time can really mess you up. And I've heard about George Sadini, and the things he did is the things that you need to fight against with yourself. Because if you trip, the social conditioning machine just will turn it into another piece of propaganda. And this will make it only worse for all of us. So Dini never had a friend to talk to, and maybe if he had one, he wouldn't do this. And that's the point. And that's why I'm making this video, to show you guys that you're not alone. And thanks to Bill, you have somebody to talk to and somebody that can understand you. And what I can say is just hanging in there. I think it won't last forever, and I wish you good luck, guys.